Welcome to the deep woods in North Florida. They're everywhere. You have two people and they actually have two different ways of looking at things.
Until you go to put it together. And once you start putting it together, and you go, well, that's what I said.
Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. They actually... Welcome to All About Living. I'm Randy.
I'm Tammy.
We're in the deep woods in North Florida, under the old oak tree. Yesterday I put out a post. Remember I asked you and I read it to you to see if maybe it might be, appropriate, one thing that we don't want to do here, guys, is we don't want to encourage negative influence.
Right.
In anybody's life, right? So you're not going to find us talking a whole lot. I might slip every once in a while.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's possible. I did in the last video, just a little bit. But one of the things or the question that I have proposed in the community tab, if you guys ever want to get in touch or leave a comment, go to the community tab. You can type a message. It doesn't show up under the videos. It shows up in, under that tab. And, when we go to do these kind of talks, I'll post out the day before. And if you just happen to notice it and you have something you'd like us to touch on, we'll do that, okay? That's pretty simple. Either that or you can do... Now, I posted that yesterday, and one of our regular viewers actually has our email address, which is in the About section, somewhere on the home page. Okay, and it's allaboutLiving45@gmail.com, in case you don't know. And I have no problem giving you guys that email address, but we do have a few regular communications that come through some of our viewers.
Right.
And when I posted that question, Miss Ladybug, you know who Miss Ladybug is, right? Mm-hmm. All right, she said that we needed to do a video maybe about how we handle disagreements.
Yeah.
Okay?
About like everybody else.
Yeah, about like everybody. No, actually we have a, what do you want to call that? A mutually agreed upon strategy.
Okay.
For that.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go over that.
Okay.
Okay? But when you live out in the woods, I've been wanting to actually, Miss Ladybug, I've been actually wanting to do a video on this for quite some time. But, a lot of times you just don't know how well it's going to be accepted.
Yeah, or how to approach it.
Okay? But, Tammy and I have been together. We've been married going on 36 years this month, guys. Okay? And we were together for a little while, prior to that. Mm-hmm. Okay? Before we actually made the dive.
Right.
And we was kind of testing the waters out. But anyway, okay. So, through the course of our lives, I was heavily involved in self-improvement. Mm-hmm. And Tammy was right there alongside of me. And one of the things that you learn along the way of self-improvement, because I was kind of wanting to be successful in life, right? So I got into all kinds of motivational and, because you train your brain.
Right.
And one of the, I don't know how to explain it. One of the strategies for success is basically, Tammy and I are a team. Mm-hmm. All right. And if you're going to be out here in the deep woods, you're going to be stuck with your partner.
Yeah.
Okay. And you are the only two that are out there. You're going to have to learn how to deal with each other. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
you're agreeing with me up to this point.
I'm agreeing with you so far.
All right. So, my thing is, like, since we're out here and since we did stick our head in the dirt just a little bit, we didn't stick it in the dirt, but we stuck it out in the middle of the woods, is you got to have, the right state of mind. Like what Tammy said in one of our videos in the early days was, if you're going to live like this, you got to have a sense of humor. Sometimes you lose that humor.
Yeah, sometimes it's really hard to keep that humor.
Now, going through life and going through the regular regiment of work, home to work, no vacations, raising kids, all of those things that you have to deal with, that puts a lot of stress on you as a person. It'll put a lot of stress on a relationship. And you've got to learn to deal with those issues. Okay, so I know what I need to say, but it's going to have to come out a little bit at a time.
Okay.
Because I got to kind of organize my thoughts after I take a sip of my coffee. Yum yum. Tammy makes the absolute best coffee in the world. She is very good at making coffee. Okay, so what we got to do is, first of all, you have two people and they actually have two different ways of looking at things. Okay, but now if you can get both of those people, okay, educated on the same principles, okay, and you both work towards a common goal, you can overcome a lot of different things, But if you have two people who cannot see eye to eye, and one person sees something one way, another person sees something another way, and you can't come to any kind of mutual agreement on anything, well, then you're going to fight like cats and dogs, for like ever.
And we do sometimes.
Oh, well, we do, but there are resolutions to those disagreements.
Yeah.
Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. They actually have a book. Okay, women speak a different language, men speak another language. Okay?
And that is so true. Sometimes we will argue about something and we want the same exact point. And but neither one understands that what we're saying is the same thing. Until you go to put it together. Once you start putting it together, and you go, well, that's what I said. That's what I said. He said, that is not what you said. Yeah. This is what I said. But it was the same goal and it was the same point. But we couldn't, it just wasn't the same.
Anyway, so through the years in our lives, we both had other issues to contend with when it came to like working and raising the kids. It had to be done. We had to do it. We knew it had to do. We knew we had to do it, and we needed to figure out a way, to make it work so that it can be accomplished. Okay, because there's a lot of things that occurred in Tammy's life and in my life, where we didn't have wholesomeness, I guess you could say, in our younger years. Wouldn't you say that is the case? And I know that there's a lot of people out there that are going through the same thing, because it's, you have broken marriages, you have divorces, you have, half brothers and half sisters, and you have favorites, and, all of that plays a big role. But when you understand that you have the same goal and you focus, you can get through it. And Tammy and I have managed to get through that. Okay, and we lived a good, I'm not going to say it's been perfect, but now I think it's getting better. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm
still here.
Yeah, she's still here. I'm still here. But I guess where I was going with all that is that, and Tammy made a good point just a little bit ago. The men in Mars, women for Venus, saying it differently, but actually saying the same thing, okay, is I will say something one way, and she will interpret it
a totally
another.
different way.
She will actually put words in between words, and she does.
No, I don't.
Because she overthinks it. And the first thing you can, yeah, you do. You know, the first thing you got to do is you cannot overthink what somebody said. That's a major key. Now, what'll happen is, say she misinterprets me. All right, and let's just say that we get into an argument during one of her hangry stages.
Oh, yeah. Hangry is hungry and makes you angry. If I'm hangry, leave me alone till I eat. Don't talk to me. Don't ask me a question, because
but we're going to get into that in just a second.
It's not going to be answered the way you want it.
I'm going to get into that.
Okay.
And we're jumping ahead just a little bit. I don't have like an itinerary, but I have a train of thought. And, you know, that, you know, you kind of like jumped ahead there.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So, you know, it's kind of like, I mean, you really need to listen to what a person is actually saying in order, you know, I mean, and that's what really makes a difference between, say, like a successful car salesman and a not so successful car salesman. Because a successful car salesman will actually listen to what they have to say. And he will absorb, and he will sit there and he will smile. And he's not going to try to ram a sale down your face or down your throat, okay? He's actually going to take what you're saying and he's going to let you continue to talk until you're done. That's what a successful car salesman does. Trust me, I know. Okay? So once you have a full grasp of what the other person is saying, then you can take all of that information after they've become silent and then dissect it and then utilize what you have. You can't assume what anybody is going to say ahead of what they're saying, because if you do that, you're just going to create more tension. You're going to create more of an argument. You're going to have to listen to exactly. Okay, say we get into a little spat. Let's get into a spat, honey. Okay, so there you go. But if she doesn't let me continue to talk until I shut up, then she doesn't have full grasp on anything I've said. Same thing goes over here. You know, I've got to listen to everything she has to say, and it kills her to be like, you know, for me to do that, because when I shut up, it makes her even more mad. Mm-hmm. If I walk away, it even makes her even more mad, especially when she's hangry. Mm-hmm. Okay? And, but, you know, if you just let the other person totally finish explaining themselves and not interrupt them and not disagree or agree with them during that conversation, then they can speak it all out. Once they get it off their mind, they're easier to deal with. And that's what a successful car salesman does.
Okay.
That's why when you're sitting at the table and then the car salesman gets up and he leaves for about 15 minutes, you know what he's doing? He's letting you reason inside your head what you're doing. Okay? And then he's going to come back and he's going to wait for either you to say something or he's going to ask you a question. And the most important question is, are you ready to sign these papers? You know, and if you've resolved it in your mind that you're going to purchase the vehicle, then you'll write the deal up and there's no more arguments or powers of persuasion being instigated. All right? And so, like when I would do estimates on floors, I'd do the same thing. I'd just stand there and smile. let them finish doing what they're doing, and then I come back and I explain everything that I need to do in order to solve everything that they've expressed to me. All right, so if you find yourself in a confrontational situation, whether it be with your wife or your parents or your folks or your brother, your sister, or somebody out there on the street, if they say something and you don't agree with them, you just look at them, nod your head, smile, and go, amazing. If you totally disagree with someone and you want to avoid a confrontational situation, you just look at them and go, that's amazing. She knows what I'm talking about. Okay? So, but now let's get to the other aspect. How do you resolve an issue? Let's just say, how do we resolve an issue after we have a major disagreement? Now okay. Tammy, and that's another thing. She's going to have to train herself a little bit, because the day's going to come where we're going to have to go a day or 2 or 3 without something to eat, or a reduction in our consumption. And she's going to be hungry, and she's going to be angry, and she's going to want to eat. So, and I'm not saying that I don't get like she does. I just say I need something to eat, But you have to identify that, because when she gets like that, I'll say, you're hungry. She goes, no, I'm not. And I said, yes, you are. You have to be able to identify it. I just walk away. But give me some of your perspective on this, dear. Go ahead, come on. Bring it on.
Oh, no,
I mean, you're the one that's traveling from Venus. The sun's hotter on your side of the universe.
That's right. I always win. Not always, but.
First off, if you say what you mean and then you just keep saying the same thing, and then say like she read something into it, I'll go back a little bit later and I'll re-explain the whole thing. And then I'll let her think about it some more. We're still not talking. It's not like we're like yelling, hollering, and screaming. I just go sit down, and I just sit there and I'll be quiet.
Which makes me madder. If I want to argue, I'm going to argue.
But let me tell you, the power of silence. The power of silence gets you a cup of coffee in the morning. Her way of apologizing after she has had a chance to think about things is she gets me a cup of coffee.
Well, that's because you never wake up mad. Don't ever wake up mad. You can go to bed mad, but don't wake up mad. If it's done, it's done. It's over. Yesterday's gone. Today's a new day.
Yeah,
and I look at it like that. I never get up mad.
Yeah, what I want to do, because I don't want this to be one-sided, all right? Because I've given you the Mars perspective. Okay, so, and I know I do things that will upset Tammy.
Yeah.
A lot of them are financial things. A lot of them are a redirection of effort type things. And, but somebody has to point and give the direction. But
somebody has to point and click.
Point and click. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and let her kind of, because I've talked a little bit about you, right? I mean, you are a Venetian. I'm a Martian. So I'm going to let you hear what a Venetian has to say about a Martian. And I'm just going to sip on my coffee for a few minutes. You go for it. I mean, they need to hear you, baby. No? You don't want to talk about it?
Well, there's nothing really to talk about. That's the things that I do. I do not get up mad, ever. Ever. Just Granny always taught me that. You don't get up mad. You can go to bed mad, but don't get up mad. You know, whatever it was, it's over, it's done. And most of our arguments, like you said, you know, are financial. We really don't argue about a whole lot of anything else, you know, and it's little things, you know, like I bought this, that, or the other. Well, it's not that we didn't need this or that or the other. It's that I wanted something else. And it was, to me, just as important, you know?
Yeah. Well,
And so then we'll argue about that for a while. But, you know, I mean, we eventually both get what we want. And we really don't have a whole lot to argue about. Now, and sometimes he'll really aggravate me. He'll go, we got to, you know, with the traps, you know, we got to do it. 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 We're behind. We're behind. We're behind. You know, well, oh, well.
Well, you know, until those traps to get done, there is no financial.
Yeah, there's no financial gain.
Backing.
Yeah.
You know, to do what you want to do. And so, you know, and I put it to her this way. If you're not worried about it, I'm not worried about it. Right?
Right.
Okay, you know.
Sometimes he says that.
No, you know, there's things that, you know, that really cannot be pushed aside. But you know, like say we don't have a bill for like 2 or 3 weeks, right? We can actually manage to build some traps over the next 2 weeks, take care of whatever it is that we need. You know, but if she wants seeds and it costs $50 to buy the seeds and we don't have the $50 to spare, and she don't want to go out and help and assist, and I know I'm supposed to be the provider, but it don't work like that out here because she'll be working on traps while I try to take care of some other things too.
Yeah.
You know, because she has the ability physically and mentally to cope with that, okay? But she cannot fix anything.
Yeah, I can't fix anything. I am not mechanically inclined.
But
that is not my gift in life.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, you got that right. All right.
I can't even make the remote work.
Don't even look at a keyboard on a computer. Okay, so I mean, she knows what the play button looks like on YouTube.
Yeah.
And she can do the search.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
But she relies on subscriptions in order to find her content.
Yeah, I really have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
Any kind of computer, remote, I mean, a new stove. You know, my sister-in-law got a new stove, one of those fancy newfangledy things and all this computer stuff's on top. I like to never got that thing turned on. You know, it is,
Well, our
I have no interest in it, and it makes life really tough sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you know, Tammy talks about her having that new stove, but I'm thinking about my fire pit and then having a trailblazing style
Yeah, I do. I want one
set
of those.
you know, be able to set a Dutch oven or hang a pot. That's where I want to be. Okay, and we'll get there eventually. It's on the list.
Yeah, everything's
you know,
on the list.
They're not expensive, but you know, I mean, like I've always told you guys, I always put $20 aside here and there, and I'll let it build up, and I'll let it build up. And then when the dollars match what it is I'd like to get with the next item on the list, then we'll go ahead and order it or go to the store and buy it.
Yeah.
You know, but some things do take precedence. The garden is going to take precedence.
Yes.
Okay? I mean, because we got to get the garden planted.
Yeah, and it's supposed to rain tonight. We just got it tilled this last week.
Yeah.
And we're waiting on a good rain to kind of pack it down a little bit and get it, you know, because
we
it's
have
really
some great
fluffy
ideas.
right now.
We have some great ideas for the garden.
Yes,
this
and
year.
we're going to try some different things this year.
Yeah,
and...
don't tell anybody anything. We'll do a video. You'll have to tune in
Okay.
when we do our spring 2023 video.
4.
Oh.
This is 24.
Yeah, spring 2024 video. There's actually some things that I'm going to be doing. Like Tammy wanted these massive planting ideas, and I did the math on it. In order to buy it, it's going to cost a
Yeah.
couple $100 just for this or that.
Yeah.
And I've already got it figured out where we can do it for nothing.
Yeah.
So
I
we're
don't know about nothing.
yeah, no, it's going to be nothing. I already got it all figured out. You probably don't even have an idea of what I got going on in my mind.
Yeah.
You know, but that is the thought process. You know, I think about a lot of different things as time goes on, and you know, being the manipulative type person in my brain, the MacGyver, the engineer, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I got it figured out.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm going to be kind of proud of myself because it's going to be repurposing, and it's going to be resourceful, and it's going to be ingenuitive.
Okay.
All right, what are you looking at me like that for?
Yeah, I hope it works.
No, I guarantee you it's going to work.
Oh yeah, it will. But we do have some great ideas, and we're gonna put them into action.
Yeah, we're going to put them into action.
You know, we're getting older, and we need to be thinking about those things now.
Well, see, you know, even though
Crawling
guys,
around on the ground.
even though we've moved out here into the deep woods and we don't have to rely upon, you know, the outside world. I mean, I don't know, and I've said this a million times, I don't know how anybody has time to go to work. I don't know how anybody can have a job and get anything done.
No, I don't know how we did it when we were younger. I really don't. I don't know how both of us worked 40, 50 hours a week.
And
then
then
we
come home and feed horses
was,
and work in the garden and take care of the kids, cook dinner.
I don't know.
And then still watch television.
Just, you know, by 9 o'clock we were dead, you know. We never could hardly watch a movie, though. You know, the kids were asleep by 7:30, 8 o'clock, and by 9 we were sitting there going, you know.
Yeah, but I do know that every morning I got up out of that bed, I was dead. I had to get a shower, and sometimes I was so tired I couldn't even stand up in the shower. Tammy would go in there and make me a bath and holler at me and scream and tell me to get in the tub so I could soak and wake up, and then I'd lay in there for a half hour, 45 minutes trying to figure out how to get my butt up out of that tub.
Yeah.
You know,
but we still got it all done.
we still got it all done.
Now we come out here and can't get
But let's get back to kind of summarize a little bit on this disagreement kind of stuff. You know, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. You know, I mean, if you're having arguments and you're constantly arguing and you're constantly bickering, you know, one of two things is gonna happen. Either you're going to figure out how to settle the argument peacefully, or it's going to implode and there's going to be some other ramifications to whatever actions it is that you take.
Then you're going to get out.
Get out.
Yeah.
Divorce.
Yeah.
Leave. Walk out. You know? Become a drunk. You know, do more drugs. You know, so you've got to, this is what I'm going to say. This person right here who has feelings and emotions, you know, for me. And I have the same for her. So with that connection, that is right there, all this noise that is out here, you've got to develop a shield. You know, and the one good thing about Tammy and I's relationship is there are no skeletons in our closet. We both know each other, you know, and she knows what I'm going to say and I know what she's going to say. And you've got to be open and you've got to be forgiving. First of all, you got to be a forgiving person. What's on your mind? What you thinking about over there?
My tooth.
Oh, your tooth. Yeah, we've been having dental things, and Tammy's got like 4 or 5 teeth that are flopping around. We got to go get yanked, and I got a few I got to go get yanked. But yeah. So basically, it's just nothing else matters but your mental state of mind. You cannot be out in the middle of the woods and fight like cats and dogs.
Yeah.
There ain't no way.
No, somebody's gonna haul off.
And so, you know, I mean, if you're a lady and your husband likes to drink coffee and you went to bed and you woke up and you want to say I'm sorry,
Without saying I'm sorry.
Without saying I'm sorry, because she never does. Tammy refuses to apologize.
Oh, that's not true. If I'm really wrong, I apologize.
You know, or, you know, we'll be driving in the truck in dead silence, and then she goes like this.
Yeah.
Reaches over and grabs my hand and starts doing that. And I'm going, okay, so I'm supposed to accept this as an apology.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because, you know, of course, those are things that you do, and you don't realize you're doing it as you do it, but I'll bring it up and tell you about it. But what about me? How do I resolve anything?
I don't know.
How many times have I gotten up and coming over and go, you need a hug?
Oh, yeah. He'll do that. You need a hug. Yeah.
Or I'll say, you want to come over here and give me some love? You know, a hug. Look at her smiling, because she knows.
Yeah.
But
we've been at it a really long time, so you know the arguments get fewer and fewer. You know, now it wasn't always that way.
It wasn't no, but let me tell you the way it really works now. We play fight.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay,
too.
we deliberately make like we're arguing, but we're actually playing.
Yeah.
We play fight. We went to the what was that? The Habitat for Humanity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we was up there, and Tammy and I were conversing back and forth and throwing words here and there. And this lady goes, "Well, you guys been married for like 50 years?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Not quite 50, but we've been there.
We're working on it.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
I don't know who else I could ever end up with. You know, I mean, she is my best friend.
Yeah.
You know, see, and the thing of it is, you've got to be willing to be somebody's best friend.
Right.
If you have these visions of running off and going and fooling around with somebody or something like that, and this guy that you're looking at is not in your picture for future developments and relationships and stuff like that, then yeah, you probably don't need to be where you are. But I'm going to say this. You're going to need to resolve the fact that that other person is going to be your best friend. Once you accept that person as your best friend,
yeah.
Okay? Once you accept that person as your best friend, then it can only get better. But both of you have to accept that person for your best friend. And the best way to figure that out is to talk about it. You know? Talk about being a best friend. We start arguing and Tammy starts going off the chain or something like that. I'll go, hey, I thought we were supposed to be best friends. You know?
Well, best friends fight.
Well, yeah, they do and they will. Okay? Yeah. You know, but you can never be afraid to express yourself. If you have something to say, don't keep it bottled up inside.
Yeah, I used to be really, really bad about that. I would wait till there was 20 things that I could just blow up about. Yeah,
you know, so, but, you know, like I see you're sitting there and then I just see that face and I see that them eyes, and I see that staring and I see that drama going on. You know, and okay, what you thinking about, hon? What you thinking about? Come on, spit it out. Talk to me. You know? And she refuses. She says, no, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. And, you know, but you got to get it off your chest. Whether anybody can do anything about it or not, you got to get it off your chest.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, you do. You're going to sit there and stew on it, and then you're going to blow up later down the road.
Sometimes our arguments are that there shouldn't be an argument. Because just leave me alone. It's not something you can fix. I've got some kind of thing running around in my head, and I need to resolve it by myself.
Yeah, the moon
I
cycle.
don't, yeah, moon cycles, whatever. I don't need your input. Just leave it. And he can't do that.
No,
It's
I
what's
can't.
wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong. Nothing. Nothing you can fix. What's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong. And we'll argue about there not being anything
What
to
she
argue
doesn't
about.
understand is that she needs to let me determine whether or not there's anything I can do about it. Because I got to live with it. You know? And she knows that. And trust me, you know, half a day later, next day, couple hours later, she'll finally say something.
Yeah. Yeah, just give me that
She's
time.
just got to get it formulated in her brain how to transmit it in Martian.
Yeah, from Phoenician to Martian, exactly.
So that's about it, guys. I think we'll go ahead and call it quits. I mean, I hope you found some of this information helpful. You know, there's going to be changes in your life as you go through.
Yeah. Ups, downs, rounds.
Yeah, especially when you get into your late 40s, early 50s, there's definitely some changes, and you're going to have to learn to adapt. Ain't that right?
That's right.
You know what I'm talking
I
about.
know exactly what you're talking about.
Things change. And I know how to handle that. If you want to know, just leave a comment down below and I'll tell you how to take care of that crap. All right? We're going to talk at you later. We out of here.
Bye.
We'll see you in the next video. Bye.